Today I'm going to be coloring my Senghori Shell's Natural Rhythms. I am coloring the hair because, as some of you may already know, I purchased one bundle of color number 2 and one bundle of color number 4, and I need to color the number 4 to match my leave out. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. The first item that I'm going to be using while I am coloring my hair today is latex or nitrile gloves. I'm going to be using 3 pairs of gloves. Keep that in mind because I'm doing 3 colors. I'm going to be using Revlon Colorsilk in Auburn Brown number 49 for my number 2 bundle. I'm going to be using Revlon Colorsilk in Black Brown or Brown Black in color number 20 for my number 4 bundle. And I'm going to be using Garnier Nutriesse in True Red, color number 66, for highlights on my number 4 bundle. I'm using Paul Mitchell color shots to add a bit more red in all 3 of the colors that I'm going to be using. I will be using foils. The foils will be used during the highlighting process. I will also be using Roux Porosity Control shampoo and conditioner, which I also use to prep the hair prior to coloring. And I'll also be using clarifying shampoo. First step, I lay my hair out on a protected surface, and I'm going to be using a rat tail or pintail comb. I'm going to take the tail of the comb and I'm going to begin weaving up and down, in and out through the lighter bundle of hair, the number 4. I'm going to do this from one end of the bundle all the way to the other end, and I actually have my bundle, the wefts have been split, and the bundle is folded over probably about 4 times, so it's really thick. So I'm being very careful while I'm weaving through to make sure that I don't get too much hair separated for the highlights. And I'm going to make sure that I separate the hair carefully and neatly, detangling as I go along. Once I make it to the other end, I can go back and remove any hair if I feel I've separated too much for the highlights. Now I'm going to put on my gloves and begin mixing my first color, which is the Revlon Colorsilk Brown Black number 20. The color comes with a developer and color. It comes with other stuff too, but that's all we're going to be using today. The developer is in the white bottle and the color is in the amber bottle. I'm going to cut off the tip of the applicator nozzle, and I'm going to add the color into the applicator bottle, which contains the developer. Make sure you get it all in there. Once I have all of the color added into the developer bottle, I'm going to screw the nozzle tip applicator back on. And I'm going to cover the tip of the nozzle with my index finger and shake, shake, shake it up. Now I'm going to add my Paul Mitchell color shots. I'm going to use 3 droppers of the color shots and add it to the color. I'm doing this in the dark color just to give the hair a reddish hue when I'm out in the sun. Now I'm going to go ahead and replace that nozzle, cover it up with my finger, and shake it well. I'm going to then apply the color generously to the lighter bundle of hair. I'm going to make sure that I stay away from the portions of hair that I separated for highlights, concentrating only on the hair that wasn't separated for highlights, making sure that I apply the color all the way up to the top of the weft. I'm going to work the color through with my hands. This is a lot easier for me to do than trying to use an applicator brush or a comb. I'm working it through with my hands, raking it through and squishing it as I go along, and then I apply more color as needed, and then I'm going to work it through some more after I apply more of the color. You want to make sure that all of the strands are evenly saturated with color and that it's coated generously so that the color comes out how you want it. You don't want any light strands. Now I'm going to gather the hair by the sections that I have separated for highlights, and I'm going to flip the weft over. I'm doing this so that I can apply color to the other side of the weft because, as I said, I folded the weft over numerous times and it's really thick. So I want to make sure that I can get color on both sides so that the strands are evenly saturated with color. I'm going to apply the color the same as I did on the first side, just squeezing it all over and raking it through with my hands. Once I have that done, I'm going to go ahead and flip the weft back over again, and I'm doing this so that I can move on to adding the highlights. Once all of the color is evenly applied to the hair, I'm going to go ahead and then begin to add my foils. I'm going to cover the hair that I have just applied the color to from the tips of the hair all the way to the top of the weft. I want all of this hair covered with foil. Then I'm going to go ahead and place the hair that I separated for highlights onto the top of the foil. I'm changing my gloves, and I'm taking out my Garnier Nutriesse True Red. This also comes with developer and color. I'm going to twist off the top of the applicator on the developer bottle, and then I'm going to puncture the tube of color with the cap that comes with it. Now I'm going to squeeze the color into the developer bottle and squeeze it all in there. Get out as much as you can. You can squeeze it like you would a tube of toothpaste, roll it up, and then I'm going to reapply at the top and cover the tip of the bottle with my finger and shake it up again. Now I'm going to apply my Paul Mitchell color shots, 3 droppers full again, just to give the red a little more oomph. And I'm going to shake it up well, making sure that the colors mix. Now I'm going to apply this color generously to the portions of hair that I've separated for highlights, making sure I apply the color all the way from the tips to the wefts. Once I've applied a generous amount of the color, I'm going to go ahead and work that through with my hands, raking it and squishing it, making sure that all of the strands are evenly coated, and I will apply more color as needed just to make sure that all of the strands are coated and saturated with color. Once I have that done, I'm going to leave it, and I'm going to change my gloves again. This is when we start working on the third bundle with the Revlon Colorsilk in Auburn Brown. Again, same process, snip off the tip, add the color, shake it up, add my color shots, 3 droppers full, just to give it more of a vibrant red color, shake it up, and now I'm going to apply this color all over the second bundle of hair, the bundle that's a color number 2. I'm applying this generously. This bundle is also folded over about 4 times, and I'm going to rake the color through with my hands. And with this bundle, I'm going to do it just a little bit differently to make sure that I get all of the strands evenly coated. Since I'm not doing highlights, I have a little more freedom with this bundle. I'm going to continue to apply the color and squish it through with my hands, but then I'm going to fold the weft over onto the other side. I'm going to actually open it up and fold it over and then apply the color again on front and back to make sure it's evenly coated with color. You may end up needing to use the whole bottle. Now we're all done, and we're going to let the color process for the amount of time that's stated on the instructions that came with the color, which is going to be approximately 20 minutes. After the color has processed, then we're going to move on to the next step. And as you can see on the lighter bundle, the color is processed very well. The darker bundle, we can't tell quite yet, but we'll see once it's all washed and dried. So once the hair is done processing, we're going to go ahead and wash the hair. The first shampoo that I'm going to use to wash the color is going to be clarifying shampoo. After I've done my lather with clarifying shampoo, I'm then going to do a second lather with Roux Porosity Control shampoo. After the second lather, I'm going to move on and use Roux Porosity Control conditioner, which has a pH of 4.5, which is going to restore the pH balance of the hair, in turn closing the cuticle, which is going to help seal in the color. After washing and conditioning, I then let the hair air dry, and here we have the outcome, which is a beautiful, beautiful dark brown with red highlights and a beautiful dark brown with reddish hues. It came out perfect. Thanks for watching.